Let me know if y'all hear something out there. Make sure y'all check y'all Facebooks. Let me know if we live yet. Shout out to the technical difficulties. We appreciate technology, but at the same time, fuck you. Uh-oh. I see indicators from YouTube. Babe, I'm coming home soon.
Better let them know.
Yeah.
Give the people what they want, son.
Gotta give the people what they want. We're gonna put all 4 cameras. We're not gonna play. Is that still, I think you gotta put your headphones so it don't catch it on the thing. Is that plugged in? Oh no, that's your phone, please. I'm not even centered, it's alright. Alright, let's cut the music, What's going on, man?
Shout out to the homie Young Doc from Brockton. For his thing right there, man. Gotta definitely show him some love.
Young Doc.
Yes, sir.
I like his swag, though. I like his swag, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all should be hearing us clearly.
Yeah, we good now.
Even though the video wasn't popping, I was told that, I don't know what I was told. You got us? Okay. Here we go. First, I want to give a first shout out to my guy, Mr. DJ Sharp.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
D Sharp International, man. Welcome back, brother. It's been a minute.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you. Audio should be working because this man came in and did the Thug Thizzle for us. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But the technical guys was like, you know what? Nah, things can't go too easy for y'all. We got to make it harder, especially for the non-believer, non-God believer, non-Christian guy named Fly Nice. But my brother-in-law, I still love him, man. This is why we have a problem, bro.
The atheist.
The atheist.
Yeah, they don't let you talking all that shit. That's called.
Word. It is. Hey, yo, P, do me a favor. You think you can straighten me out so I'm kind of like in the middle? You see that camera right there? Right in front of you. Further mic. Boom. You're my camera guy. Let me see how your hand game is. Pause. Let me say pause.
Heavy pause.
Heavy pause. Pause. Do I gotta say that too? I thought y'all grown ups here.
Where we going?
Nah, just center me. You know, left, right.
Oh, can you see that?
Ooh, here it is. One more time. Ooh, we good. All right, we live. Oh, we live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what do you want to talk about? Because we only have 30 minutes. We're going to knock this out because we need to get home to our family members, man. Sharp,
Yeah.
I'll give you the first one. What you want us to talk about, man?
Oh man, you gonna put me on
Yeah,
the
I'm putting you on the
spot?
spot. You lucky I don't get a camera, man.
Keep it simple. Who should the man always pay every time he take a girl out?
That's a good question. What's up, brother? I'm gonna let my brother-in-law answer. What do you think first, man?
Nah, I mean, of course not. And I don't see why he should pay every single time. Fuck, no.
Okay.
Don't make no sense to me. Why I gotta break my pocket every time?
True.
What if I don't have it like that? Am I not qualified to be with you or something?
That's a good question. Are you not qualified?
Maybe I don't have it like that.
Yeah.
But what? But because I don't have money, I'm less attractive? Or that makes me less genuine?
Right.
It's because somebody has money, they gonna treat you better or something like
Well, you know what? Maybe you can't talk about intimate things over cheeseburgers, brother. Maybe that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, no more supersize. The supersize was that 2000 movement. Now it's 2019. You know what I mean? P, what you think? Even though none of us can, let's clear the air. None of us is talking because we don't have a choice. We got wifeys and all of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And shout outs, you know why we can't talk about it too? Because we poor. We got GMS apparel.
Right.
Like, the money's going to the apparel now. The money's going to the new equipment. The money's going to the apparel. But if, let's say, you were single, Mr. P, let me ask you a question, brother.
What's that?
How do you think that you should be footing the bill? Or would you say, we going Dutch? Not Dutch master, but Dutch.
First date, second date.
Good question. What do you think, Sharp? This is a Sharp question.
Who's pursuing, who initiated the conversation for y'all to even get up?
This is Sharp. Sharp's got to answer that. What do you think?
I personally think the man should
A lot
pay
of
me.
things got to factor in.
That's a
Now
good
if it's a shorty that's at me, adamantly, and I'm like, I'm sort of feeling like, yeah, maybe
Like she cute, but let's see where her mind is at.
My mind is at.
I see where you're
I have views of us. So let's go ahead.
Because we like that too, right? We
Yeah.
like that too. Shorties could, you might talk yourself out of some good dick if you ain't.
all day.
All day.
So supersizing can mess up the opportunity.
No.
For what are we saying? You guys got to tell me. Explain it to
You
me.
gotta keep going, dog.
I was talking about something. You talking about supersizing the male?
Yeah. Ooh.
Where you going?
I'm just saying. Oh, you gotta go to a restaurant with a female? Wait a minute, let's slow down. If you go somewhere in Europe, McDonald's is considered bistros,
I heard
man.
about that to get the Grand Royale and all that shit.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm talking about America, bro. Like McDonald's.
What's wrong with McDonald's? My wife goes to McDonald's with me.
But you know what you just said?
I said it,
Your wife.
but I tested
McDonald's
her.
is
And
like
she passed. I
McDonald's.
vetted her.
McDonald's is when you guys are already invested in a relationship and already been together.
Alright, let me ask you if this is corny. Somebody's gonna hate me. I'm gonna explain the experience. I'm not gonna say who it was, but this particular person
But getting
went out
dates-
on a date though.
Yeah.
Movies, bought a tub of popcorn,
Mhm.
one soda. What you think about that?
What?
What you think about that?
Your dice is lost.
Is that smooth? Is that because you're on a budget?
What?
Like you trying to save for a crib? You bring
I'm
you
on a
bring
budget and I'm going
First of all,
we ain't even buying shit at the movie.
I was about to say, you don't know budget if you buy shit to movies.
But shit happens though. But shit happens though.
I'm
No.
stopping at the store, yo.
Yep.
I can't front.
Oh, you filling her purse with some shit and then going to the movies?
I'm bougie when it goes to movies. I like the lifestyle shit.
I do, but listen, you're on a budget, big man. Damn.
That's what we got Netflix for. That's what we got Hulu.
Nah. So wait.
We got E-Pix now.
This is true.
We got all that. Got the Fire Stick.
Shout out to the Godfather Harlem, he picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said fire.
Okay.
$10 pint of Henny.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
We'll talk off air. Because we don't promote bootlegging things. We
Right.
promote
No, we don't promote this.
fee-for-service services. You know what I mean? But if those people want to sponsor us, holler at us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay. So let me, do the people have any questions for us? Because I know we got a couple things.
Nah, but someone said there's a lot of echo on the thing.
Echo.
Well, we thought that last time too. And
We thought that last time. It must be your,
There might be something wrong with their shit though.
might be something with your shit, cause
Because someone said that last time it wasn't like that.
Hold on. I thought we was Gucci over here. Hold on. I thought we was fine over here.
Someone else said the audio doesn't sound right.
Can we check the audio, Sharp? Can we get an audio check? We got Sharp here.
oh yeah. Put this up. Oh, that's why.
See how that is.
Let us know. Let us know. We out there now.
Now, see, check us out. The chops you
I
watching.
think
Oh, yeah, you just turn the phone.
Alright, let's keep talking. So now let me ask you another question now. Since we're talking about money, we're gonna make this real quick because we ain't got time.
Right.
Takashi supposed to be getting $10 million. Is that true?
That gotta be a lie.
I think it's a lie. And two, if he were to, what kind of music is this man really gonna talk about?
I don't know, but Hot 97 said not playing this shit, so.
And Hot 97 is clear
And I
channel.
said this a while ago,
Okay.
right? And people can quote me on this, I forget which episode it was, but I said
Mhm.
if he did come out and try to make music,
Okay.
certain affluent people
Okay.
within the rap game
Yup.
could shut him down. And I said that I think that they would do it. Stations like Hot 97, The Breakfast Club, Jay-Z, Meek Mill, all these affluent rappers could shut him down. I said that was my opinion. I feel like they could shut him down because they have such an influence. They can tell people don't support him, don't do music, and I believe a lot of people will follow what they're saying.
Okay. I can ride with that. What you think, P? We know you gangsters, so come on.
Nah, man, I'm an adult, man. Don't do that to me. But anyways, yo, if this goes there, it's gonna change the narrative, man. The whole street culture is washed, it's over. All that real one, really, it's done. It's out the window.
30 seconds. Is there still a street culture out there? A real street culture?
No, it really isn't. It really
All right.
isn't. I just had a conversation with the boys earlier. I mean, they confirmed that there's a generational difference now.
Yeah.
I
100%.
knew shit was changing anyways once I started.
My age, we was really outside. These young kids,
Right.
they don't know nothing about being outside.
This is true.
They show their life on social
Yeah,
media.
they don't know
Talk about it.
outside.
It's true.
Yeah.
But I know at one point, that's when I feel like shit started. I started noticing a change. When I heard dudes younger than me saying shit like, I don't shoot fair ones. I don't shoot fair ones. I would just, we get straight to the shooting.
I mean, you told me I have echoes too over here.
Yeah.
So, if I'm hearing, damn, we don't shoot fair ones, right there, it's showing me something changed.
Okay.
Something changed.
I must have a camera on.
Camera?
Yeah, one of these I didn't show off, so I'm trying to figure it out now. Hold on 1 second. But now, if you're telling me that is the case, right? Hold on 1 second. Let's say that is the case and that the street has changed. I think the street definitely has changed. I think people in general have changed, right? And if that's true, with that being said, hold on. with that being said, don't you think? Where's my audio? Here we go. It was peasy shit in that one. That should fix the audio, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. This is just Cliff going too quick. All right. So I think the streets has changed. I think people have changed. And I think along with people, I think values have changed. Not only from people snitching, but let's go to the other extreme, from females expecting certain things. From, just to go back to what Sharp was saying, pay my meal, pay my cable, pay this, pay that, you know? And I've said it before. And we've said it because we all have daughters here on the podcast. You know, we teach our daughters, you know, yeah, you can be beautiful, but at the same time, you're intelligent, an intelligent woman. And I think we got to have our kids' generation change that whole narrative, just because these women think like, you know, a little butt injection, a little lip injection, that, you know, they should fly.
It's all about getting snatched with these young ladies.
Natalia said audio is much better.
I appreciate that. That's me. I apologize.
Thank you.
Thank you for the check-in, people.
Though, you're right about that whole teaching them to be better and shit like that. But from what Sharp said, it's crazy, bro. Like, these females quick to just be like, yo, you know, cash at me, cash at me, cash at me. Bitch, fuck you mean cash at me?
I told you we had a whole discussion about
OnlyFans.
cash
At you, bitch. Like, you worked for something. Like,
OnlyFans
you just showing up.
Snapchats.
You know, you feel me, Sharp? Like you just showing up. Like, bitch, what? You showing up, I gotta pay you for your presence?
Basically.
$15 a month.
Mind. And I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm gonna tell you what started that shit. Social media. Social media. These bitches is getting 300, 400, 500 likes and think that means they gotta get paid for it. I'm popping now, bitch. You ain't popping. You ain't popping.
But what if they are popping? They don't deserve money anyway.
You know what I mean?
Can we just say that?
Nah, but if they popping,
I don't care if you're popping.
But if they really popping,
listen,
I'll give it to them. I'll give it to them. You're popping, you can demand a little bit. You popping a little bit. Somebody wants you to host an event, demand something. I get that. But you can't just be demanding money because you want to go out with some bitch. Nah, that's tricking. That's like, what was it? Escorting, whatever. Like, I'm gonna just be on your side. I need some money for that. Fuck no. This ain't. I'm not looking for an escort.
Yo. I'm sorry. My fault.
I'm not looking for an escort, bro. Like, I'm not doing that. So all that cash at me shit, nah.
You what line am I in,
yourself.
Cliff? I mean, BI.
Go get a job, bitch. Get a degree. Get a 6-figure job. You don't have to worry about people cash apping you. You know what I mean? But thinking that you're the shit because you popping on social media, nah. Sorry, love. You ain't gonna get it from me. Fuck out of here.
And on that note, all I'm gonna say is I concur. It's pretty simple. You should be line 4, sir.
Line 4? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
stay your line on.
Doesn't seem like it's going through.
Okay. You hear? How about now? Line 4?
Yeah, I hear myself a little bit better.
Okay,
my bad.
Hey, man, I told you that trying to be that sexy monotone voice, man. Don't blame the mic, fam. We paid $4 something for that mic, player.
Facts.
I speak for my diaphragm.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, Jesus is going to ascend and prove nice.
Don't be mad at me because I was born
and then you cut the
with
shit.
The vocal tone of Barry White.
All right, man. You know what? I'm going to let that slide. I'm going to let that craziness slide.
Right.
I'm going to let that craziness slide. I don't know, man. But listen, all right, let's talk about this. I don't know what y'all think. I got a topic for y'all as soon as I think.
Let's run through speed topics.
Huh?
Speed topics, right?
Oh, yeah, I did say that. But, you know,
gotta give the people
apologize.
what they want, man. That's
but before that, I want to talk about this real quick.
Hour.
Right here. Opiates. Sesame Street.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that,
the
man?
Pill, the Elmo, what is
Is it Elmo?
I didn't read the fully article, but what is it's Elmo's friend. Elmo introduces the friend to the show.
The friend is supposed to be a 6.5-year-old little girl,
right?
And her mother,
it's a green looking thing,
is struggling with addiction on the show, right? That's what's going on. So if anybody doesn't understand, the little 6.5-year-old, she's struggling with addiction.
Right.
Then Elmo has a conversation with his father. His father explains to him what addiction is and how people need help from it and things like that. So basically, that's the gist of what's being talked about on Sesame Street right now. The question is, do people think it's appropriate or inappropriate given the fact that I believe Sesame Street is catering to like 3 and 4-year-olds. You feel me?
Well, we kind of...
Only reason why, because there is 3 or 4-year-olds that are going through that, though, believe it or not.
No, that's what I said to somebody, too. I was like, whether you think it's appropriate or not, the fact is this 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, whatever, that are really going through some shit like that.
It's a double-edged thing, though, with me, because it's appropriate in a way, but also, where the fuck was that at during the crack era?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, it may not have been on Sesame Street, but there were other programs that were talking about drug addiction. You know what I mean?
They did it
like,
in a certain...
like they didn't, you know, people don't want to, people may not have remembered, but there were things that were talking about sensitive issues like racism, drug addiction, shit like that. That shit was going on in the 90s and shit. I think what it is for some people, we're a little older now, so we're more conscious, we're more aware, and we're seeing it now. You know, like I can't really, I can't even say that when I was young, that I would even remember a show talking about that shit.
Yeah. Nah, there wasn't.
And I probably wouldn't have remembered it. But when I see clips of like, say, for instance, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right.
Remember the time when...
His father didn't show up?
No, not the father didn't show up. That was the best fucking clip when his father left.
We got to pull that back up one day.
Right. No, it was the time when Carlton was trying to get into a certain...
fraternity.
Fraternity. I'm sorry. And they were like, "Yo, you're just not our type."
Right.
And Carlton was like, "Yo, our type. Like, what do you like? What like your expectation of a black person is what? Blah 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 blah." Like, you know. And then there were other things on like Steve Urkel. Right. There was an episode in Steve Urkel where I think it was Nickelodeon didn't want to air it. It was an episode where Laura received a nasty, a racist letter, and then when she closed her locker, the N-word was spray painted on her locker. But Nickelodeon didn't want to air that episode. You know what I'm saying? I think it was aired on like maybe ABC. I'm not positive, but I know Nickelodeon didn't want to air it. So there was another episode of I forget the name of the show where dudes were in a holding cell. And it was like these young college white kids, and the black dude was there with him. I forget the name of it, but it was a popular show in the 90s, bro. And the dude started saying to him, "Yo, you know what it's like that being black? We get this harassed by cops." And one of the white kids was like, "Damn, I never realized that." You know what I'm saying? Like, we come from two different worlds.
But again, doesn't it go back to kind of like, Shop, I don't know if you heard this, but like, I'm Haitian Canadian. And the first time I ever had pancakes in my life was when I was 16, 17.
Sac passe.
You know what I mean? My breakfast was coffee.
Oh, a different
bread,
world. That's what Natalie
peanut butter. You feel me?
It was a
so
different
like,
world, fact.
if we're not sharing like different things or you don't experience it, they're gonna be like, why are you gonna put like 3 and 4 year old kids around that? That would never happen.
Right.
That means you're just isolating the rest of the world.
Right.
You're assuming these things might not happen. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I definitely applaud them for doing that, because to me that's being progressive.
You know what I
that's
think is
forward
going to
thinking
happen?
too.
This is what I think
It's
is going to
forward
happen.
thinking, but I think that they're making it too comfortable of a conversation, though.
Well, this is what... Well, maybe.
Wait a minute. I want to hear more on that.
Explain why.
Well, yeah, I want to hear what you mean by that.
Why.
They're making it more acceptable now. Now kids is like, yeah, my mother's on drugs now. They're going to go to school and start blabbing their mouth about stuff they don't really know. They should keep to themselves. You understand what I'm trying to say?
But why should they keep it to themselves?
Yeah, I want to be. Let's play devil's
'Cause let's
advocate.
just
with
say
that.
For one, because that's a family thing. That's internal.
Yeah, but let me say
you
this.
don't go
Hold
to
on.
school and start talking about your family
Well,
problems.
hold on. That's but what if the child is really being neglected and actually needs to have the proper people there to put this child in the right environment and remove him from a toxic environment?
Boom,
Like,
then-
you see what I'm saying?
then that's
'Cause
when it's
I know
beneficial.
people, right? That one of my mans, he grew up and his house was the crack house.
Right.
And he says, like, because he ended up smoking crack down the road, but he'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? I used to walk in the house and my house would be filled with crackheads
All day.
smoking in the house. And at the young age, he didn't realize the funny feeling he was getting. He said, but as I got older, I realized I was getting high off the crack that was being smoked in my house.
Especially if they
Right?
smoking it
Now,
openly. Yeah,
and then he had such a profound effect on him that he was, you know, like, just certain things took a really bad toll on him, bro. You see what I'm saying?
became an addict
Now,
himself.
let's just say like what if that's the situation for some kids? Like, some kids do need some kind of intervention in their life to remove them from that toxic house, yo.
Right.
So what I'm saying? Like, it's always two sides. You see what I'm saying?
So you feel like if he went to school and started talking and addressing that with his peers and his teacher, it could have saved him?
Some kids, I'm saying
Or you
it's
think
so
when
toxic.
or DCF would have got involved and broke up their
Yeah,
whole
I mean,
house?
I'm not really big on having DCF involved in
They
your
suck,
life,
bro.
because once you have him involved in your life, it's very hard to get him out of your
Yeah,
life.
they
So
don't
I'm not big on that. What I'm saying
Right.
is that if no one else is stepping up and this child's in a really, really toxic environment, we need to have somebody step up and get this kid the fuck
If
out
I can
that
piggyback,
environment.
I think DCF probably gets a bad rap because it seems like they don't help, because where the child ends up if there isn't other people to step up, right? So let's say
I dealt with them before. They don't help, bro.
I don't.
Most of the time, I don't think they do no good, bro.
What I went through, the focus was more about breaking up and separating and getting the kids out of the bad situation And once they're out of the bad situation, well, we're done with y'all. We can't
Well,
do nothing else.
that's what I'm saying, right?
Hold on,
You know what I'm
let me say something. What someone said something. Okay, he said, let me see. Natalia said, I definitely don't agree with that. If you keep important topics away from kids, you're creating ignorant adults.
I agree with that 100%.
I agree with that statement too.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that.
Because like, okay, so let's talk about it, right?
Hey, hold on.
What if kids are just more comfortable speaking about these particular topics at school or with friends, or maybe trying to say, "I trust you," saying, "Oh, you know what? Here's my friend Sam. Hey Sam, you know my mom does."
Maybe I'm viewing it the wrong way. Maybe
look,
because
Dude
it's always.
I'm looking at it. Maybe they're trying to make it too open.
Nabbit said this. He said the child might have a friend that can help him cope.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody
So
personally
you
you could confide in. I get that. But you're openly just telling everybody your business?
No, of course
No,
not.
I hear what you're saying, but they're
just going
kids.
Of course not, but they're kids.
But they're kids. I think you know
my
what.
mother
First
pops
of all,
3 perks a day. It's nothing,
you know what?
man.
Let me do this. I'm gonna rope it up
Right.
because we have time. We're limited on time. But fair to say, one, if you're in that particular situation, it's just not a good situation, right?
Period.
So with them even kind of just divulging that information, it's not really making the situation worse, unless DCF gets involved. But at the same time, that might lead to hopefully
if there's some neglect with the child, and
Right.
they see patterns, and he comes to school talking about what his parents are doing, then they can put two and two together. Then get involved.
Right.
100%.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
that's why I think like if I'm just a believer of just people talking, right?
Yeah,
I don't
I'm-
believe in
communication
people
is
like I don't want my
conversation
kids
creates
saying
progress, bro.
Right, 100%. Yeah, there has to be a situation where the kid or the person knows, hey, you don't bring family business and put it out in public, right? But if they're that young and they're dealing with that might be the only avenue that they can afford. That might be the only resource they have, which is to speak to a friend. And hopefully, and I stress the word hopefully, right, that maybe there's a teacher that does say, hey, let me step in, let me try to do this. But that's just kind of wishful thinking because now...
For some reason, I just get the vibe they just try to make it like a common thing, man. Like it's okay.
It's like kind of acceptable
type shit. That's what I get from it. That's how it makes me feel every time I see the article.
Just turning a blind eye. I agree with what you're saying because I think once you do that, it's like watching videos. Since day one, when we started, even before I started doing this podcast, like when my cousins share like gun violence and all of that on videos, I'm saying y'all are subjecting your brains to just find that to become normal. So it's just not a big deal.
We're all getting normalized by the shit we watch.
100% agree with that. But I think right now we're at such a point because it's an epidemic, right? I think it's fair to say it's an epidemic, and it's affecting all people across the line.
Well, let me say, I feel like it's been an epidemic, but it wasn't considered an epidemic until it hit affluent white America.
But that's different kind of conversation.
It's a different conversation, but let me just,
I agree
for the
with that.
record, that's where I stand on.
Yeah. But I think
you're talking about as far as being normalized.
I think normalized. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Definitely be desensitized or whatever because they want to monitor and filter what you say.
Right.
But we could watch snuff and suicide flicks all day. People get
100%.
ran over by trains all day on Facebook, and that's cool.
And it's cool. Yeah.
But we can't call somebody a dyke. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get.
I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Without somebody cringing or going crazy or whatever the case may be, or some kind of community getting involved trying to give you outlash saying you
cancel community,
whatever you want to call it.
That's what I
don't sue me, but it seems
weird,
legit.
Man. It just
what you're saying seems legit.
It seems very legit. Man, it's just weird to me, man. So you know,
facts. No, I agree with that. Only thing I think good with the Sesame Street thing is this: like, say you want to talk about drug addiction with some kids in elementary school, whether they 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, right? I think that's a great video to play for the kids. Right, like a 10-year-old could watch that video and kind of understand.
Right,
you know. So, I mean, take the video, play it for them, give them a good understanding of addiction and maybe what they're going through, so they get a better.
There's got to be something where they ingest
kids at a young age just don't fucking understand. They just 100%, don't comprehend, bro.
Yeah.
So any tool that we can use to help these kids comprehend and
you're
possibly
normalizing
cope
them
with
to
it.
thinking that that's okay behavior.
No, not okay at all. I don't even agree with that. I don't think that we're trying to normalize addiction and make kids think it's okay. I don't think that's what they're trying to do at all. I think they're trying to create an avenue to bring awareness to kids and help them cope with their parents being addicted to things. Because if you watch the video, right? If you watch the video,
because it's all about
you gotta watch it.
messaging.
You gotta watch the video
messaging.
because what he says is like one of the people on the show say, listen, it's nothing you did wrong, because some kids think, is it something I'm doing that's making mommy or daddy act like that? Is it me? Is it, and then they get depressed or whatever because they think it's something they did. So this is bringing awareness to kids saying, listen, it's nothing you did. Right. You didn't do anything. This is just a problem that mommy and daddy have that have nothing to do with you. And they need the proper help to help them get over that problem, but it has nothing to do with you. And then it's just giving them more awareness and education on what the problem actually is.
Now that you said it explained like
saying?
that, I agree with that totally.
You feel me? That's why I had to watch the clip, because at first I was like, hold on, what the fuck they talking about addiction? Because the main audience, even when I Googled it.
Because the clickbait just makes it seem like.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why. But when I Googled it, right, first thing I did, I Googled what's the average age that Sesame Street caters to, and it was like 3 and 4 year olds.
Right.
So I was like, why the fuck are they talking? Because a 3 or 4 year old's not gonna comprehend that shit. But then I was like, okay, there's got to be.
But if they repetitively see it,
there's got to be a bigger picture here.
Start clicking.
And then I seen that the girl was playing a 6.5-year-old little girl.
Yep.
She's in like foster care or something like that, group home or something. And what they were saying to the little girl was, don't feel guilty. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Then they're trying to give her an understanding of what her parents actually going through.
Right.
You feel me? Because a lot of us at that age, we don't know, dog. You know what I'm saying?
They don't even know what they're feeling themselves.
Like when I was younger, right? My pops wasn't there. He was addicted to drugs, right?
Okay.
And remember in the Will Smith episode where his pops left and he said to Uncle Phil, he said, yo, why he don't want me, man? What is it about? He don't want me. What, that can be a guilt thing. Like, is it something I did?
I did.
Is it something wrong I did?
Right.
And a lot of people deal with that, when their parents aren't treating them right and neglecting them and shit like that. They think, is it something I did?
Because what they do is they see other kids and they're like, they're other kids, the parents are there. Right. So you can only put 2 and 2 together as an age. So I agree with you, man.
I think for the, we'll move on, but my opinion, I think it was a great thing once I fully understood what they were doing.
Now that you say it like that, definitely,
it's a good. I
agree
think
with
it's
it.
a good thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, man. So what y'all think about this guy? Today we got the day off, man. What y'all think? You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Mr.
this Columbus Day shit. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, man?
They've been attacking statues across the nation today.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
Right.
Beef on
well,
statues.
the problem is this. The problem is they're not telling the truth about who he really was. That's the problem.
They don't tell the truth about any of them stories, though.
They're not telling the truth about who he really was. That's
Same narrative, though, right?
Yeah.
It's the same narrative. Isn't it kind of the same thing with what we're doing? They want to paint a certain type of picture for you to go along until people actually start saying, wait a minute, based on this information, based on that information. At the end of the day, it's all about individuals not being lazy and searching for the truth, right? And not
what they say
going by headlines.
The information age.
You know what I'm
the
saying?
Information age.
So with that being said, you know what, man? Listen, the only Christopher I follow is this gentleman right here, man.
Wallace.
You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it
Wallace.
like that. We ain't got to
baby.
Christopher Week.
that's
Wallace.
it. We don't play with nobody else, man.
East Coast shit.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Now let me ask you guys about this. Actually, this is nice. So nice. I'm gonna have you lead the way. You know what I mean? We got a little boy, a little girl. Yeah. This is that conversation we were saying as far as, do y'all think it's okay to allow little boys to play with dolls?
And vice versa, right?
And vice versa. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, man, because I believe, my opinion, based on scientific data, okay, unlike some people, I'm not gonna say which people.
That's all right.
But some people.
Feel free to look at the camera.
You know what I mean? Some people, right. I believe, right, I should be, but but listen, I believe based on scientific data, because over 500 mammals and species engage in homosexual behavior, that it's a natural thing. That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying? I go based off data. I have a reason to believe what I believe, okay? Unlike some people that go by a primitive book that was written by people that thought the sun revolved around the earth. That's me, okay? I believe if a child is gravitating toward that, then that's what they're going to do. You're not going to stop what they're going to want to do. You're only going to harm them when they grow up. They're going to feel like they can't talk to you. They're going to feel depressed.
So
they're going to feel
embarrassed.
I feel like it's a natural thing. So if my kid is young and my kid wants to play with Barbie dolls, I'm not worried about him playing with Barbie dolls. I'm worried about my kid growing up in society and being a good citizen and doing well and being nice to other people and all of that. I don't give a fuck who my kid wants to love. I don't give a fuck who my kid wants to have sex with, as long as they're not fucking goats and animals and stuff like that. I don't care about
You don't believe in bestiality?
You know what I mean?
What about you? What'd you pee? What's going on?
I look at it like this. I sent a meme to my girl today, and it was like, it shows a little boy in the top half of the picture laying in the bed with
I see you.
laying with a bunch of Barbies, right? Barbie dolls, and then the bottom half it shows him as an adult in the bed with like 4 chicks. You know what I'm saying? So he could be a little player. He could be playing with dogs, trying to develop some game, learning how to learning how to, love the ladies the proper way. Then when he gets older, becomes, the Mac of the year.
Yeah, I mean, if that's
Back
what he
of the
wants to
century.
do, that's fine with me. Whatever, man.
He could be a lady lover. Doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna be feminine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Feminine,
whatever.
No, listen, but to me, I'm okay with it because I had to learn the hard way because I remember, like, you know what I'm saying, seeing my nephews and they grabbing dolls and I'm like, uh-oh. I was nervous. You know what I mean? Like,
because we grew up a certain way.
Yeah, we grew. Listen, I'm old school, bro.
Everyone's culture.
You know
Our era was the macho era.
I hate using that as an excuse,
yeah.
but I'm gonna keep it real. That's how I was brought up. Everybody's like, "Yo, I want to see my son throw a football, backyard,
basketball, baseball."
I don't though.
I'm gonna show him the rope.
I don't care. I don't care because it's too much more important shit to be worried about.
I feel you.
I don't want.
Listen,
nowadays, I'm making sure my kid ain't growing up to be a fucking school shooter.
But when did that happen for you, dog? Like, when did that come to fruition?
When I decided to educate myself.
Okay.
Bro. A lot of that shit comes from ignorance.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? People talk on shit and don't realize how ignorant they are.
Fact.
I don't want my kid doing this, and I don't want my you fucking sound ignorant, yo.
I agree.
There's way too much shit to be worried about besides your kid choosing to love somebody that you disagree and think they shouldn't love. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro. I'm making sure my kid does good in school. I'm making sure my kid respects other people. I'm making sure my kid is a law-abiding citizen. I got way too much shit to worry about besides my kid wanting to love who he wants to love, bro, and treat good who he feels fit to treat good. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I'm gonna tell my son, nah, bro, you can't, or my daughter, whatever, you can't do that and love her like that and all of that. You gotta love them. Nah, but I got way too much more of a shit to worry about with my kid than who they want to love and treat right, bro. And then perform activities in the privacy of their own home or wherever they're at, bro. That's not my business, dog. That's not my business, bro. You feel me? If a kid my son, my daughter wants to do whatever they want to do behind closed doors with another individual, that is their fucking business. That's not my business. I don't even want to know about it. It's not my business, period, bro. As long as you treat them good with love and respect and you genuinely care about their well-being as if it was your own, I respect that because that's what I'm teaching you to do. Right. It could be a man that you want to do it with, or it could be a woman that you want. I don't give a fuck. Absolutely. Because you are a direct reflection of me.
Of you.
Your character is a direct reflection of me. That's what I'm focused on. You know what I'm saying? And I can pat myself on the back whether my kid is gay or straight, knowing that my kid treats their significant other with the respect that I expect them to treat them with and love them the way that I expect them to love them. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. That's it, bro. As long as my kid isn't running around, shooting up schools and doing all types of shit they're not supposed to be doing, nah, bro, that's not where I'm at. I got too much other shit. But can I ask you a question though?
Now, just to say, like, if your son was going that way, how do you address him?
I wouldn't address shit. Let him do what he want to do. When I'm gonna
let him know. As far as like, do you treat him differently?
Nah, hell no.
Do you still treat him like a little boy?
Nah.
Or do you treat him like something else?
Nah, I'm gonna treat him the same way I treat him regardless. Right. I'm not gonna treat him any differently. You wanna go play with dogs? Go ahead, B. Do what you wanna do. I don't care. Don't matter to me. I'm gonna love you the same.
I got all daughters, so I don't know. But I got a daughter who's gay. But you know what I'm saying? I be trying to kick it with her like she a little boy. She be like,
I don't. You know what
else? She be like, I don't like that dad.
You know what else?
How's that work?
Listen, you know what else I also take into consideration?
Now, when you say that, how is she receiving that?
What do you mean?
Is she receptive to? You said you're trying to just kick it with her.
She kind of cringes up. I'm maybe because I'm a little too aggressive, too blunt. In some subjects, but you know what I'm saying? It's like. You know what I mean? Like
we just found out. I think we're frozen, but I just want to keep it going just because it is still recording.
Yeah, it is recording.
Like my thing is like this. Okay, what if we were to find out that you're doing all of this and the person at the end of the day, I just feel like sometimes there's just feelings behind what they're portraying, and it's not necessarily like what they're thinking. Because, for example, right now, is it fair to say, and I want to see if y'all agree with me for me to continue, there's a lot of trendy shit going on.
Boom.
Right? And I really feel like you might find some people like, I think I am, so I'm just going to roll with it.
At first, when she first came out to me, that's how I took it. Like, is this a fad? Is it just something you're going through temporarily?
Did you say that?
Yeah, I
did you? Okay.
And then, her sisters would be like, nah, Dad, she's really like that. She's like that. And then one day, I come to the crib, and I find a note.
Oh, that's how she broke it down?
No, this is just how I found out she was dead ass about it.
Was it a note to you or just a note?
It was a note to another girl in school.
Oh. How old?
She was about 13 at the time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did she say when she found out or felt that it is what it is?
No.
Oh, she didn't know?
She just said, this is just who I am, Dad.
No, but did she know? Did she find out herself at the age of 12, 11?
She told me like around 12.
She told you at 12, but did you ask her when did she know?
No, I didn't really get that detail. You
Be
know, I
interesting fact.
asked her, but she was just like, I can't remember the answer, truthfully.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But, you know, we had a conversation about it. My thing was about, my whole conversation with her when I first found out was like, is this a fad or is this something you really want to do? Because if you want to if this is who you are, I'm going to support you.
Right.
But don't switch up on me next year. Next year, you're somebody else and you want to be supermodel queen. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. You got to stick to one thing. You know what I'm saying?
True.